In a small prison cell deep in Texas, a woman sits in silence. The walls are cold, the air heavy. The faint hum of fluorescent lights fills the emptiness. Taylor Rene Parker, a name that once meant nothing beyond an ordinary woman's life, now stands for one of the most disturbing crimes in recent memory. Her story is not just about murder. It's about lies, obsession, and the terrifying depths of human desperation. Every morning she wakes to the same routine. A tray slides through the slot. She eats alone. She speaks to no one. The guards rarely make eye contact. Her days blur together, one after another, inside this 6-by-9-foot concrete box. Some say she still insists she's not the monster they think she is. Others say she knows exactly what she's done. Before the world saw her as a killer, Taylor Parker was a young woman in New Boston, Texas, outwardly confident, social, and charming. She had a boyfriend she wanted to keep at any cost. And when he began pulling away, Parker's fear of losing him began to consume her. That fear soon turned into an obsession to prove her worth, to be loved, to feel needed. And for that, she would create the ultimate illusion. It began small. She told people she was pregnant, a harmless lie she thought. But lies grow. They need maintenance. Soon, Taylor had fake ultrasounds, fake appointments, fake baby registries. She posted about her pregnancy online, held a gender reveal party, and even posed for photos cradling her belly. Her boyfriend believed her, her friends believed her, everyone did. For months, she played the role perfectly. But time moves forward, and pregnancies must end. As her supposed due date approached, Taylor faced a terrifying reality. She wasn't pregnant. There was no baby. And soon, everyone would know. Unless she made the unthinkable real. Regan Simmons Hancock was 21, a bright, joyful young woman who was 34 weeks pregnant with a daughter she'd already named Braxlyn Sage. Regan and Taylor knew each other well. They laughed together, took photos together. Regan trusted her. But behind Taylor's smiles hid a growing madness. On the morning of October 9, 2020, Regan woke up at home, preparing for an ordinary day. Her husband was at work, her 3-year-old daughter playing nearby. Taylor arrived with a plan that had been forming for months. She carried tools hidden in her bag, tools of life and death. Inside that quiet house, the horror began. Taylor attacked Regan from behind with a hammer. The blows were merciless. Investigators would later say the impact compressed Regan's skull against her brain. Regan fought. She screamed. She begged for her life, for her baby's life. But Taylor didn't stop. She took a scalpel and performed the unthinkable, cutting Regan open in a desperate attempt to take the baby she could never have. When she fled, she left Regan lifeless, the home covered in blood. Her 3-year-old daughter found her mother's body. Minutes later, Taylor was racing down a Texas highway with the newborn in her lap, claiming she had just given birth on the side of the road. Police stopped her soon after, and the truth began to unravel. The baby, Braxlyn Sage, still had a faint heartbeat, but it was too late. She died at the hospital, taken from her mother and her life before she could even breathe on her own. The investigation moved quickly. Every lie Taylor told began to collapse. The fake ultrasounds, the fake hospital visits, the search history on her phone, how to perform a C-section, how to care for a premature baby at 35 weeks. Every detail showed planning, not madness, premeditation. During her trial, 142 witnesses took the stand. Doctors, detectives, family members, all recounting the elaborate deception and the brutality that followed. It took the jury only 1 hour to find her guilty. When the sentence was announced, death, she showed no emotion, just silence. Maybe acceptance, maybe nothing at all. Now she spends her days on death row, isolated, controlled, observed. Only a few women in Texas share that fate. Most will wait decades before the state acts. Some never see the chamber. Appeals drag on, years become decades. The mind begins to fracture under the weight of waiting. Prison psychologists say inmates like Taylor often move through stages: denial, anger, depression, and sometimes acceptance. But acceptance doesn't mean peace. It means surrender. Some days she claims innocence. Other days she sits quietly, eyes empty as if she's already left the world behind. Inmates on death row live by routine: wake up, eat, wait, sleep, repeat. Letters come, sometimes from strangers, sometimes from those curious about monsters. Some write to understand, some write to forgive. But forgiveness doesn't erase the screams that once filled a home in New Boston. When her final day comes, the process will be precise, almost ritualistic. A breakfast through a slot, a final visit from her lawyer, a last call with family, then transport to Huntsville, the place where Texas ends lives. There, under white lights, she will be strapped to a gurney. The IV lines will be inserted. A chaplain may hold her hand, whispering words of faith. Then the warden will ask if she has any final words. Those who have witnessed executions describe the silence that follows, the slow rhythm of breathing, the final exhale, and then nothing. But Taylor Parker's story is not just about her end. It's about Regan's life, a young mother who loved fiercely, a woman who trusted, who deserved better. Her laughter still echoes in the memories of those who knew her. Her family continues to live with the ache of absence, the wedding she never saw, the daughter she never got to hold. What drives a person to destroy so much for a lie? Was it fear, delusion, or something darker, a desire to control life itself? These are questions that linger long after the verdict. As the world moves on, somewhere in Texas, behind a steel door, Taylor Parker remains trapped in time, between guilt and punishment, between memory and silence. The echo of what she did never fades, it just grows quieter with each passing day. And in that quiet, the ghosts of Regan and her unborn child remain, not as victims of a headline, but as reminders of how fragile trust can be, and how devastating the cost of a single lie can become.